Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
Welcome to Talk Sports, where we break down today's hottest football stories, major transfers, the future of the game, and from wonder kids to blockbuster signings. We got you covered. Welcome to Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Doc Yinka Adegbuyi, and right now at the studio we're going to be talking sport tonight. The program is Talk Sport for this edition, and with me tonight to divulge and dissect these topics, I have the big man Polowski, the huge Arsenal fan.
Good evening, viewers, and so excited to be back here to discuss all that's gone in the last 48 hours in the world of football. Recently, the transfer window just shut down, and over the weekend, we saw a lot of matches. Though, as an Arsenal fan, not happy we couldn't take all 3 points, but I hope going forward we get those 3 points.
Right, so that's it from Polo. You heard him. He's ardent Arsenal fan, and is here with us tonight on Talk Sport for this edition. Once again, I want to let you know that we're going diving straight into today's subject. We're looking at emerging talents. We're looking at the rise of left foot wingers and footballers in particular. The days of Lionel Messi, Risto Stoichkov, and the likes of Arjen Robben is virtually dusking or getting over. As it is right now, we have some emerging talent with a left foot, and we're going to go right into them. We're going to look at them, and we're going to try and dissect some of these super players that the god of football has given us. We're looking at the new generation of left wingers dominating football right now. And if I mention left wingers and left-footed footballers, there's no way I won't mention Lamine Yamal, the rising 18-year-old Barca superstar. And then we have to talk about Bukayo Saka, the wonderful Gunners Arsenal kid who has become a mature man in the game. And we also have the likes of Mohamed Salah, who is a super human being. He has so much accolades in his store and so much silverware that the young man has gotten with his left foot. So today we're entering the golden era for the left foot wingers. How do players with left foot, how do you think they fare in football? You can put that in our comment section. You can join us in this conversation. You can put your thoughts right there, or you can put a call through to us on the line. Just put it there on the YouTube page or Facebook page. So how do these players change the tactical approach of their teams? This question, Paulo, I'm going to ask you the first question. Which left foot winger excites you most right now?
Well, at the moment, you can't look beyond the man from Spain, the Barcelona guy. Talking about Lamine Yamal, is probably one of the best, left winger right now in the world, and still very young. And also, there's a boy coming up now. He's also a left winger at Arsenal. They call him Max Stoneman. He's very young, and still under 16 years. So anytime I watch him, I'm always feeling excited. But at the moment, you can't take anything away from the man that has been there for the past 2-3 seasons now. Talking about Lamine Yamal, he's a very exciting player, and with time, I think he can do more than he has already done with the Barcelona football club and also the Spanish national team.
Wow, so you guys, you heard it from Paulo. Right now, for him, the most exciting left winger is Lamine Yamal, the 18-year-old. He just turned 18 years a couple of months ago. And before he turned 18, he's already won the UEFA Nations Cup. He's already won the La Liga. He's already won the Super Copa. He's already won the Copa the real, and so many accolades the young man has won. He's got several assists, several goals. He's on top of La Liga in terms of dribbles. Last season he had about 118 dribbles. He alone. And the nearest person to him had about half of that. And that's a fantastic record. And for a player like Lamine Yamal, who is just 18 and has a whole lot of future ahead of him, he still has like 17 years to play if all things go well for the young man. But the question I also want to ask you is this. Will it be a hype to think Lamine Yamal is the best thing that happened to left foot at this present time? Or is it like a reality?
Well, I think we should just take step by step and not overhype it. So far, I think Lionel Messi is still the best. I think that have happened to because though some will say he actually played as a number
Maradona.
10, number 10,
Diego
yeah,
Maradona was also
But if
left
you look
footed.
at also players like Arjen Robben, they dominate that wing, and it's very difficult for I mean, defenders when facing them, they facing the likes of Jerome, they know what they face. They know they are facing fire. Call it fire. And but for what's his name again? Lamine Yamal. I think we should take it step by step. I don't think it's here actually now for us to say is the best. You understand in terms of the left wing, but with the way he's playing, if he should continue like this in the next 2-3 seasons, I think he will definitely surpass that. We've had the likes of Ousmane Dembele, who is here or there. At times he shows that brilliance also, because he's also a left winger also, and a very good one. But injuries and at times is also out of form. That's why the conversation around him has actually down a little bit. But right now he's presently in contention to win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah. But
and he's in contention with his left-footed winger
yeah,
as well.
of course,
Lamine Yamal.
Yamal. But we should just take
Rafinha.
it. Yeah, we should take it. A bit by bit. But if you talk about Rafinha has been playing the other side because of Lamine Yamal. So it's to be honest, Lamine Yamal, if he continues like this in the next 2-3 seasons, I think he will definitely surpass the likes of the
Wonderful. Now, finally, I want to ask you that. I just want a yes and no. Which of these two will you put on your team right now? You have a team, you have a final to play, and you want to win this final.
Well, it depends, but
one of them.
It depends.
One. Just take one.
It's definitely
one of them.
Well, I'll go with Mohamed Salah.
Thank you very much. So he's choosing Mohamed Salah because Mohamed Salah
is the old guard. He knows what he takes to in the game, and the reason why I'm picking Mohamed Salah is that unlike Lamine Yamal and co, they might have 5-6 chances and take 2, but with Mohamed Salah, 1 chance, 1 goal. So that's the reason.
Beautiful. So you heard him from wherever you're watching us from, and you can see that even with the emerging talents of kid in Arsenal, we still have the experience. The experience
Madrid have always had in the past, and
it's going to be an absolute dominance like Bayern Munich in Germany or like Juventus used to be in Italy. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I think at the moment I think they are still
they're
managerless now,
Yeah.
and they've been knocked out by in the Champions League. So though they have only the league now, though I think they are still in the Europa League. So, but they will want to focus on the league to at least to wrestle the league away from Galatasaray. But I don't look at the moment. If you ask me, I tell you that Galatasaray are the favorite to win the league. And about the Turkish league, I think it's a good one for the Turkish league. You look at it, but I just want those talents spread across, not only Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Getting those players, and if both of them are those two clubs are the only clubs that can have the purchasing powers to bring in these players, or be able to pay those players, that means the other teams in the league.
They're going to be running them
they're
down. That's
running down,
exactly.
yeah.
So it's going to be a dominant situation for them.
Of course.
So we expect them to be dominating the Turkish league and anything short of that, and then getting into the second round of quarterfinals of Champions League. Anything short of that, then they do not make maximization of their money, because Leroy Sané alone, with the Gudogan joining that squad, all German footballers with the likes of Victor Osimhen and the rest of them on the squad.
And more so, recently they also brought in the Manchester City goalkeeper. I think is it not Galatasaray that signed him? Just have to confirm. Ederson.
Ederson, yes.
Ederson Moraes. Is it Galatasaray or Fenerbahce? I just have to confirm. I think it's Galatasaray.
So we will
confirm that, yeah.
later. So how about this transaction, Donnarumma to City? Will this likely solve City's problem? Was it goalkeeper problem for City?
Well, I don't think it's a goalkeeper problem, but I think it will only bring in a shift in the way Manchester City play, because we know the former goalkeeper now Ederson is one of the, when you talk about passes, goalkeepers that knows how to use their feet the way the manager talking about Pep Guardiola wants to play. I think you can't name 2 or 3 goalkeepers in the world that knows how to use their feet, and you will not name Ederson. And in fact, he has more assists than some midfielders in the league.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but for bringing on Donnarumma, kudos to them. He's a world-class goalkeeper. We saw, to be honest, I think the reason why PSG won the Champions League is as a result of the man talking about young Donnarumma. Because if you watch the match against Aston Villa in the first the return leg, it was the sole reason they progressed. Against Arsenal also, and even against Liverpool, make a lot of saves that could have knocked them out. But kudos to them. But
that brings us to ask this question: why did PSG push him out? Why exit Donnarumma when he just did serious exploit for them?
Well, I think I think there's an issue with the goalkeeper and probably the manager, because I see no reason why you should be bringing on. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce his name. The guy from I think Lille. They brought the goalkeeper from Lille. Yeah, and I don't think he's better than young Donnarumma. Donnarumma is still at below 30. Though the guy they brought in is very young, but morning, afternoon, night, ask me between both goalkeeper, I'll still pick Donnarumma. But I think there's an internal issue, going on. So to avoid keeping an unhappy player or unhappy manager, so they had to let him go to Manchester City.
Okay, so rounding it up on those 3 players, those 3 transfers, want us to be decisive here. Fans want you to help us here with this decision. Which of these 3 players that we just mentioned? We started with Real Madrid getting the young man from Brazil, from South America, Master Tuno, and then Ike Gudogan going over to join Galatasaray, as well as the third one, Donnarumma, coming to Man City. Which of these 3 do you think will be most impactful in the coming season? Put it in the comment section, and as we progress. Now, looking at our young man from Nigeria, his name is Kelechi Iheanacho, who just signed for Celtic, and he's reuniting with Brendan Rodgers, his former coach. And what are the expectations here? Can Iheanacho revive his career under Rodgers? Do you think he can come back?
I just hope so, because Kelechi Iheanacho has gone through a lot in the last 2-3 years. He went to he left Leicester City after his contract expired. I don't know what happened. Is either the club did not renew the contract, or probably the offer on the table was not what he was expecting. I haven't won the FA Cup for them, and helping them achieve a lot. But he went to Sevilla, and hoping that everything is going to click for him. But he couldn't get playing time, and even the little time he played, he was out of form. He couldn't get anything. So Sevilla had to loan him to Middlesbrough. That was the January transfer window where he ended. I don't think he scored more than a goal at Middlesbrough, and he came back now.
Championship.
Yeah, in the championship. That's the championship. That's the second tier of football in England. And now Sevilla. They are trying to look at the option of since it's not part of the manager's plan, and teams are not really coming, for him. So they had to, sit him and the manager and the agent down, and they discuss on a way to, terminate the contract, and they had to terminate his contract. And luckily for him now, Celtic, the former manager Brendan Rodgers, he has played under him. I believe Brendan Rodgers will be able to bring out the best out of Kelechi Iheanacho, because we saw when Brendan Rodgers was at Leicester City and Iheanacho was there, he was enjoying his football. I hope he enjoys his football also at Celtic, though it's a painful one that Celtic has been knocked out of the Champions League, so we will not be seeing Kelechi.
For Europa.
Yeah, so let's see if just hope and wish him the best of luck there.
Now, just before we left that area, we're also looking at which reunion in football history can you recall has been fantastic and produced rejuvenation? The kind we hope for Iheanacho here. Can you recall any?
Yeah, before I go to that, I just was talking about Ederson the other time. I think the club he joined was actually Fenerbahce, not Galatasaray. Yeah,
right.
So our viewers is
So
Fenerbahce.
it's a
Yeah,
rival
also
club.
yeah. So but if you talk about reunion, I think it's very hard now. I can't remember in the last 5-6 years, or in fact on the last 1 decade of any player, or making a reunion with his other, maybe his former club, or
coach.
or coach that's actually standard. I can't. It's hard. You can't look, because we saw C Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United, and we know how he ended. It was war. It's not about being flop. There was chaos everywhere.
Chaos, and
the
eventually
manager,
was
the
benched
dressing
in
room.
5
In fact,
matches, successive matches.
everywhere it was. Up to today, I think they are still trying to clean up the mess which
they
Manchester
created,
United
yeah.
have not been able to. And like I said, in the last 1 decade, I'm still trying to find. I can't really name a single player that I've seen is either a reunion with the manager or with the club that's ended with. Look at we recently talked about Ike Gundogan. He came back to Manchester City under 1 season, and everything didn't go well. The first time was okay, but this second one, it was really poor, and
City
so
was at their worst in 7 years.
now.
Worst in 7 years.
Yeah, so I don't think there is. I can't at the moment. I can't really mention one name.
Right. So viewers, you heard that. We can't seem to find a reunion that has worked in the last couple of years. So at the same time, we're still going to wish Kelechi Iheanacho, the Nigerian international, the best of luck at Celtic. Ademola Lookman seems to be dominating the headlines after the failed transfer he had, the drama between Atalanta and Bayern Munich loan offer. We hear that Bayern Munich offered a loan proposal, to which Atalanta said no. Tottenham and Arsenal's interest didn't convince Atalanta equally. Now the Inter deal has also collapsed. Atalanta is saying no, you can't go to Inter. Lookman has returned to training with Atalanta, raising questions about whether he can rebuild trust within the club, or he's just going to be another quote-unquote traitor that they will be trying to frustrate in the team. We've seen several of that happen in times past. You know how Victor Osimhen tried returning back to training, and they sent him to go and train with the B team. And that likely, can he regain form and focus at Atalanta after such a public saga? Should Lookman still push for a move in January? So what do you think? Do you think he can still be trusted in Atalanta?
Well, it's going to be a very difficult one, but which is not impossible. We've seen players, had altercations with manager, club,
yes.
and the other day, one of them is Granit Xhaka. To the extent it was stripped off of the captain's handbag, because we remember then everybody was saying it's all over for him. He's going. Arteta is going to let him go, or he's not going to play any game. But after that incident, I think he still played about 2-3 years, and in fact up to the
And it was a
vital, yeah, the
vital
fans
player
love
to
him,
the team,
everybody
yes.
love him. But for Ademola Lookman, I think his agent did a bad job, because if you want to leave, there's a way you leave. There are a lot of players have, requested for a move, and the club granted them. One of them is Iberichi. Go to Crystal Palace. Ask any Crystal Palace fans. They'll be telling you they love him and they continue to wish him well. But player like Demola Lookman, Alexander Isak, players have forced them their move away from club. There's a way you do it, but for Ademola Lookman, let's see. Though he has not been back with the first team. He has been training. He's not training with the main team. He has been training with the likes of the under 21. And it's a very painful one that it happens to be another Nigerian that is
That is
facing the same thing that Victor Osimhen faced. And if you look at Ademola Lookman, I think it's going to affect Ademola Lookman because compared to Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is still, I think he's even younger, probably about the same age. But you look at the way Osimhen plays and the way Osimhen Lookman plays is quite different from each other. And for Ademola Lookman, who is I think he's still the reigning African champion. I mean, and yes. You are now drawn into transfer saga. To be honest, a lot of Nigerians have gone through all this kind of situation, and then it doesn't usually work out for them. I remember the days of Peter Odewinge. He drove himself. Without the club permission, you want to leave, and just at the end of the day, everything didn't work out. But for Ademola Lookman, it's going to take a lot of convincing, for the fans, the club themselves, to like him again. We know he has been in the saga like this. I think when the manager made some, comment about Ademola Lookman
being responsible for their loss.
Yeah. And we know how everything went, but this time around, I think he overdid it. And talking about clubs, I think those among the clubs that really shown interest, it was only Inter Milan that was really, really, really serious about getting him. But Atalanta, they don't want him to join any of their rival. Yes. And if I thought you are going to join their rival, they don't want it to be Inter Milan. And elsewhere, I don't think Bayern Munich are really serious about him because they just brought in Luis Diaz from Liverpool, who also occupy. And you're talking about Arsenal. I don't know if Arsenal were really serious because you look at Arsenal, they have about 3 players that can play on that wing and they are still there. So,
but the players Arsenal has, none of them can match Lookman as it is.
I don't think so because one, Lookman has
Martinelli
been tested.
is not on the
level and you look at the factor. There are things the clubs in England also consider because Ademola Lookman has played in England for a number of years, but he didn't make it. So they also consider those kind of factors. He
was much younger then when he was at Hull City or Stoke City.
He played for Fulham. He played with Fulham. Is it Everton again? I think he played about three clubs. I don't think he played with Hull City, but I'm trying to remember. But I know he played with Fulham. He played with is it Everton also? Yeah, Everton. And probably one other club. So for Ademola Lookman now, he needs to, for him to win the heart of the fans, he needs to, work hard, and whenever he gets the call, put in those goals and those big performance, get the goals or provide those assists. I think with that, after 4-5 games, fans they might easily, move on and forget about what has happened in the past.
Hopefully that will happen. If the fans can forgive him and if he doesn't get another offer. I don't think the window has finally closed in Italy. I think it's just
no, it has closed in Italy, but I think there are still some.
Get into Spain, I think.
Is it maybe Turkey, Saudi, and if they can reach an agreement with the club to terminate his contract, he can still get any club once the contract is expired, terminated, and he becomes free agent. He can still get any club.
Get him. So he has, in confirmation, he has played for Everton, Leicester City, and Fulham in EPL before he left the English league, going to the Italian Serie A, joining Atalanta. So our luck and our prayers go with Ademola Lookman in that saga as he returns. Right now, he's training with the second tier team, the feeder team, and he's not even allowed to train with the senior. And as the coach insists that it's not part of his plan for this season. Now, should Lookman continue to push for a move in January, or he should just focus on proving himself? Paulo has said a lot about that. Viewers, Lookman should keep on looking at proving himself whenever he gets a chance. He should prove himself and try to convince the fans that he is hungry and he is apologetic and he still wants to don the Atalanta blue and red jersey, and he still wants to shine with them, and he wants to go places, blue and black, pardon me, and he wants to go places with them, and possibly and prayerfully and hopefully the fans and the team can forgive him and absorb him once again. So it's not just Ademola Lookman facing this transfer saga right now. He's not the only one in this kind of situation. There are several other players who are wishing and who have been pushing. Isaac just got his own
move.
move.
Even you and Wisa also, you have to stop training and, put a lot of statements, on the internet talking about how you want to. But one thing we should always know is that, I'm not in support of, though some people will say once the player wants to leave, allow him to leave. You can't just leave when the club have given you everything. They brought you from somewhere, and they invested a lot in you, and
now they want to reap.
And now they want to reap. You when a player starts trying to force a move, it brings down his value. Because the clubs that wants to buy him now, they will want to just since the player wants to leave, instead we are paying his normal value, we just hold on. He's having issue with the club. The club will be forced to let him go. But they need to find a way, and try and say and honor your contract. I think the contract should be signed when you are signing 3 years. 3 years. Then I know there will be some clause that, okay, if this club breach this terms and condition, okay, I have the right to leave. If this is, but looking at Alexander Isak, what he was saying is that they had a verbal agreement that if Liverpool comes, you will let me go. It doesn't work like that. And if Liverpool comes now, Liverpool comes with 20 million. Newcastle are not saying they are not selling, but the valuation.
Now, to back what you just said up, Inigo Martinez left Barca just a few weeks ago, and there was an overnight call straight on to Saudi League Al Nasser.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? Inigo Martinez signed a contract that included a slot that states clearly that should he get an offer to leave after one season, he could go. And he got an offer. And the offer was fantastic. The pay was about double or triple what Barca was paying him. And based on Barca's challenges as well, one-to-one fair play rule and the financial rules, he was easily excused. And Barca was happy to see him go, got some fun from it. He was happy to land in Al Nassr, earning huge wage out there. And that's because he has already put it in the clause. So maybe Nigerian players and their agents should go further than just happily signing contracts.
Yeah.
Maybe they should look, better at those things. Remember that contract issue was a major problem of Etimesen back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he signed a contract that he didn't properly check.
I don't think Nigerians have really learned a lot. I won't blame a lot of them because they look at the background where they are coming from. Struggling, hustling. They just want to make Mama proud.
Like but Ademola Lookman's case is not like that.
Yeah,
he was never a Nigerian. No. He was born in England. He grew up in England. Everything he's done has been in England.
But I think it's a Nigerian
poverty has
factor
never been
because
part
now
of
you
him.
look at it. I think they should just take a time. And one other thing again is about you having agent that is experienced, that knows what he's doing. Even take his time and look at the contract. If possible, involve a lawyer. Then look at the interpretation and things you know that are supposed to be there that are not there. Then you tell them, please include this so and
exactly, because a lot of injustice has been done against Lookman in that team.
So for Nigerian players, that it continues to happen, and I think I should stop. And you look at other Nigerian. Why I said say probably a Nigerian factor is because a lot of Nigerian players, even the ones that move to all this, it happens to a lot of Nigerian players. It's because they are not,
the limelight.
That's why we don't get to hear those things.
Agree.
There are a lot of Nigerian players that their contract were just terminated anyhow, but they just have to calm down. It's not about because you want to escape which is it poverty I will call it. You now go into a trap that or sign a contract that that it's not going to benefit you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Or that will tie you down when you are supposed to move to the next level.
So viewers, we just expect you to continue to join us to support Ademola Lookman. Pray with him and pray for him. Let's have faith that he will get something from Atalanta. Perhaps get them to disengage him so he can find a new club or incorporate him back into the team for this window. By January window, he might get a good suitor should he perform well in the next 4-5 months of the first part of the league encounter. And to be honest with you, all this saga putting a lot of strain on these players, emotional strains, mental strain on the players and their families, and a lot of them can't cope. It affects their gameplay even when they are given the chance. Because according to Coutinho, when Barca gave him a chance to play, he said he had no confidence whenever he got the ball because the fans and the team were not in support of him. That they lacked confidence totally and they couldn't do anything. And that's what happens to these players when the fans are not supporting them. So we hope that Lookman can get back into the good books of Atalanta crowd and the fans and the supporters and the ultras, as well as the management team. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and fans all over the world, from wonder kids to transfers, psychology to AI, football never stops evolving. We found that out, and neither do we. Keep the conversation going online. Put your comment there in our comment section on the YouTube page or on the Facebook page. Remember, Premier Sports Fan Center. Premier Sports Fan Center, that's the handle. And this is TalkSport. Until next time, I want you to remain watching sports, keep the conversation on, and have a good life. From us here at the studio, bye-bye for now.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle.
This is Premier Sports Center. Live anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.